From the time the late president declared Kenya a one-party state, most of us were not very comfortable because there were a lot of limitations regarding expression of opinions or views and so on. So we got together, a few of us, and decided that we were going to do something about it. We looked at the old constitution, which was just a few pages left. It was very sketchy. It had lost its value to an ordinary mwananchi. Therefore, we resolved that the journey for reform was then and not later. Once we moved on, we agreed that we were going to work for a constitution which the Kenyans want. So our call for reform was Kenya to Itakayo. And this came about as a result of formation of the Citizens Coalition for Constitutional Change. We worked with very many individuals, very important people who also joined the struggle. We went and formed many other splinter groups in order to reach the grassroots with this information. From 1993 to about 2000, it became apparent that the struggle was getting stronger and stronger. And during that period, we were targeted a lot at our Katiba House. Katiba House was situated right opposite Impala Club along Ngong Road. And we realized that should we be curtailed at this office, what will happen to what had taken place? Because we had had so many gatherings and forums and workshops and trainings of our people, preparing them to appreciate the need for a reformed constitution in Kenya, and also the introduction of multi-party system as a way of ensuring that the people had the right to express themselves and participate freely in a country of theirs. Coming from the background I come from, that is pre-independent and after independence, I would say that when we received the Lancaster Constitution, it was a great joy because it was a document which would have really steered us to greater heights. It was rich, it had touched on a lot of things, but of course the language was always wrong in there, that the women were not recognized at all in that constitution. But when the parliament and then started to strip it down, we lost a lot which had been there. First of all, the Lancaster Constitution was a democratic constitution because at that time we had an opposition party, which was KADU. Yeah? And when KADU was folded up and ended, it meant that it scrapped over so many articles of the Constitution, and that denied everybody the right to do anything with that document. We were kept there for years, not able to turn around, not able to talk, not able to do anything, until the 1992 reform agenda came through Ford Kenya again. When that opening came, and finally the removal of Section 2A in the Constitution, which was then, we found some breathing space And now it was a matter of life and death. We were running helter-skelter everywhere, addressing people and talking to people and persuading them and educating them to be ready for the changes, because the changes will come with good things. And that was our anticipation, that when we realize a new constitution, Kenya will be a changed country. We will see things being done in a different way. In this new constitution, women played a very, very important role. Even the women's civil society movements, we all came together and also had our input, because we presented a memorandum with demands that we wanted to see in the new constitution, which were finally accepted. But I find that many people are very uncomfortable with that one. And up to this time, you know, the gender bill has gone through Parliament 6 times, and every time it has been thrown out. It is not auguring well for us at all. We belong to Kenya. We are human beings. We are full participants. When we open our constitution and say, we the people of Kenya, remember, women are the people of Kenya. And after all, we are the ones who are giving birth to them. So how can you ignore the fact that this is the person who carries me 9 months in her stomach, alafu unasema ati hawezi kupata? That is not acceptable. But for the young people, I want to call upon them to take this as a challenge, because the future belongs to them, not us. We have done our part. We have given them the baby, the new constitution. It is now upon them to safeguard it, see that it is protected, and that they, as young people, have to show the way. They have to show the way. But where there is lack of information and knowledge, it is our responsibility to avail it to them through education. The education should not only be for the adults. The education should go right down to the nursery schools. That is when we will have a nation which values, which respects the values we are talking about. Kenya becomes very peaceful immediately after elections. For 4 years, we can jump around, go everywhere. But the 5th year, no go zone. Those are values until we realize that our each other's brothers and sisters. The national unity which everyone is calling for will not come from the leaders. The leaders will not lead us to unity. We ourselves, as the people who wrote, worked, and brought about this constitution, should get down to it, that we bring ourselves together